Welcome to a new segment on Hidden Driveway today. I'm Amu, and I'm here with Cameron Shull. And you know what? I think today I want to talk about some of my music because I never get to. So, for those who are unaware, me and Mr. Cameron Shull over here, well, he's not over here anymore. He got up and left. Oh, there he is. But me and Cameron, we used
I have
to,
Hidden Driveway today.
yeah, we released the EP together called Caamuron Shull. And you know what? Cameron already has a full interview on the channel. I don't know when we get a chance to talk about it ever, but I figured, why don't we make a whole little video where we talk about the project? Because if people are interested, maybe we'll find out stuff, or we'll talk about how we feel about the project. Maybe you learn some little insights about it. Maybe we learned some little insights about each other that we didn't know during it. Who knows? This is
Mhm.
gonna be a little bit of a rough video because I've never tried doing this before. But if it goes well, maybe there'll be more with other artists for like specific projects. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess if you don't have anything, I'll start off asking you a question.
Okay.
Um, because you also made the music. I am a co-host today, essentially.
Yeah.
Um, so can you talk about like the origins of like, or as well as like your mindset during the time to when I was like, let's make music? Like, was it something that you were imagining as well? Because I was the first one that said like, oh, like I want to like make something.
Hmm.
Um, were you also imagining something in the same way that I was, or did it just come as like a total shock to you that I was just like, oh, let's just like make something?
Yeah, I think because if you want to go back to like how we started working together, there is a song that is not still not out, but it will be out, at some point in the future. That I made because I made this beat and I wanted somebody yelling on it, and there's one guy that I know does it really well, but he is unfortunately not the most responsive. And I liked I think you had dropped accidentally that year, and I really like that.
Yeah.
This was pre-closing shift though, I'm pretty sure, or was it? Wait, was it before the closing shift came out?
I It was either when you probably sent it to me the month of it dropping, and then I probably got it back to you a few days after the EP released.
Okay,
So that
yes.
month, yeah.
So I
I
don't
was
think.
like 20 then still.
Yeah,
So
I think I'd only heard accidentally then, but I like that song a lot, and I was listening to it a lot that year. And I was like, I follow this guy on Instagram. I should go ask him for stuff because that was when I was trying to like reach out to more people. And you sent me like a band lab like demo of it. And even though like the idea of
yeah,
the
I forgot
song
about that.
sounded kind of like silly, especially because it was unmixed, like I was like, okay, I like how this sounds though. Um, and then after
Yeah.
that, nothing kind of happened for like a good like year, really. Like we started talking more over the summer. I forget why. I know
I
like
don't even know.
you
I
you asked for my number and you were like sending me stuff through text. I think, right?
y- yeah, I asked for your number because I wanted to send you something because it was easier to do than email,
Yeah.
and we both have Apple. So like, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know why we started talking so much though. I think it just kind of randomly happened. Like I don't
Yeah.
really.
Well, because I know it started because you wanted like opinions on like Bloodless, because you would send me like demos for
Oh
that.
yeah.
But that was in the April, and we were still
Yeah.
talking over the summer. So I guess we are just locked in like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I just wanted to drop an EP before I transferred to college, but obviously like that didn't happen because, I'm in my break right now going into my second semester. That was me personally. But I was curious about you. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, did you have any similar feelings before I brought it up in a way to where you're like, oh, like we should probably like make a project together, or like what was your mindset when it came to releasing music then before I came up to you?
Honestly, I don't know. I think at the time, well, yeah, no, because I was really sick of working on drill games, and I really didn't want to. And this was right after I had to wipe my. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. In July, I had a problem where I had to wipe my entire computer because of malware, and I lost like all my project
Mhm.
files from the year, and I was kind of demotivated. And there was I think I had sent you like an old beat I had made or something, and you rapped on that, and then I made
Yeah,
that was the original Demar Derozan. But then I made the new beat
yeah.
for it the same day, and you put the acapella on it, and I liked it a lot. And then when I think the only reason the EP happened was because I made three more beats the next day that are all on the project, and we had enough songs that we thought we could do a whole thing together with those.
Yeah, so for me, I was like, you sent me like 10 beats in like a Google Drive folder.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like just trying to, I wanted to rap on every single one because I just wanted to release something before I transferred. And then you were just kind of starting to be like, oh, like I just kind of want something more original, something I haven't
Yeah,
made yet,
yeah,
because some other beats like went to other people, and so yeah, I rapped on that one beat for Demar Derozan, and then I think you were the one that added the acapella on top of it. I don't think I did that, or I
no,
might
no,
have. I don't
you did
remember.
it
One of
first. I'm
us
pretty
did.
sure, or maybe you sent me the acapella and then I put it
I did.
on.
Yeah, because I remember like listening to it and being like, holy shit, like this is way better than like the demo or whatever, or the
Mm-hmm.
original. Um, And because of that, because of the length of the song, I added like a second verse, and then I added the like that bridge towards the end.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, that's kind of how it came out. Do you want to talk about like and if you want to, do you want to add like the shitty part in that second verse? That's like that I had to re-record just for
Oh,
like everybody
yeah.
to
So
hear.
there was the line is still in there, but there was this one part in the original of Demar Derozan where I'm sorry, Cameron, but it was not it. It's okay because
No, it
the
wasn't.
new one is it, but we had to re-record that song like
Yeah, no,
five
it
times
was
to
it
get
was
it
really bad.
right.
Yeah, no, that part was really bad, and I'm really glad that it was changed. And no, like I'm not like mad. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really like want people to say like it's straight up garbage if it's straight up garbage.
Yeah,
And
because I like the
because
whole
I'm
song,
sometimes
but I
I
think
feel
I was
like
showing it to someone because like I had someone like come to my dorm and I was showing them like stuff we've been working on. I showed them that song. They made like a face during that part. I was like, oh.
uh, yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Um, but yeah, I'm glad I changed that part. Um, yeah, I think the song turned out really well. Um, What was the first song? Like, I'm thinking like maybe we can go from like track to track based off like the songs we finished
Okay,
from
well,
like July or so to
okay,
about
well, the first song we
December.
finished was
Or if we can just do
Chokehold.
the
Or I guess we go in.
yeah,
Do we
like
go in chronological order or tracklist order? Because I feel like those are two different things.
that's what I feel like tracklist order would be easiest.
Okay. Um.
Um,
Yeah. So if we want to go in tracklist order,
Probably. Yeah.
Rat Cage is one of the beats that I made in that span where I made three of them in the same day.
I thought
So
you made four.
when I made four, but one of them didn't go on the project. That was one of the scrap ones.
Oh, yeah, that or do you mind can I actually say what that song is
Yeah.
now? Yeah, it's that one Young Rap Poison song, The Lonely Omri. That's the beat that he rapped on.
Or
Yeah.
that was also one of them. That wasn't from that day though. It was the so much water
Oh,
beat that no
wasn't
one
it?
ever used. But only Omri I initially made for Cameron, and we just didn't think it fit.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. I just didn't really like I didn't really know how I'd rap on it, and I
Hmm.
don't it wasn't like something that stood out to me in particular, but it was still good, like obviously like talented. But yeah, so Rat Cage, yeah, that's the first song on this EP.
Hmm.
So those three beats in one day, like did you like I assume you weren't like thinking much when making it, were you?
Yeah, no, that was like a very like I the beat did not change at all from the day I made it to like the day it came out. Like I made all of it in one day. Um,
I mean, I'm talking about like the three beats that you made in one day. I assume you weren't like thinking much,
yeah, no,
like
like that's also
uh
like that never happens too. Like I'm usually like I think I'm getting better about it, but I usually take a while when I work on stuff. So the fact that I was able to do four beats in one
mhm,
day and they were all like good to me is like super rare.
mhm. Yeah, I think something that like we learned, like, because I mean, I think with this EP that like I think we've grown a lot, like when it comes to, or like just learned a lot of new things. And I think that's something like even if like the music comes out to be like the worst thing imaginable, I think that that's kind of the most important thing. It's just like, okay, like what can we do better next time
Mm-hmm.
individually? If we were to make something together again, like what
Yeah.
would that turn out to? Just stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, for Rat Cage, that shit was tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
I recorded the demo to you like on my iPhone, like walking home, like in August. And that originally had like an entire like 16 bar verse, but I took it out because you mentioned how like Lil Peep like only has
Oh
like the whole
yeah,
song for
yeah.
a Lil Peep song is like a hook.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know what? Like you kind of have a point. I don't really think it needs that much rapping on it. So I only put like a little 8 bar in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um and the recording was probably the toughest part for me. I'm still a little indifferent about that song, even though nobody has ever said a single thing about it to me. It's just because it's something I've literally never done before and never planned to do.
It came out really
Um,
good though, I think, especially because like when you said to me like I thought there was autotune on it and there's not.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think I really love like, or sometimes I haven't done this in years, but or in like a year or so, when I like mess with autotune or like want to record something raw because I like recording like raw vocals before I add autotune on
Mm-hmm.
it. I just look at the key, like I turn on the plugin, the autotune plugin, and I put it at like a 1%, so it's like barely even like a thing. And I just kind of look at what key in, so
Mm-hmm.
it can just help me stay on key. Um, I would say that the easiest part for me to sing on that, which I didn't really need, was the scene it part. That part
Yeah.
that was pretty easy. I don't really know why. I don't even know what key that song is
That's in G
in.
major, I'm pretty sure.
Uh, Oh yeah, you told me. I forgot. I think like the first time, like before I asked you, I was recording for like an hour and a half, like just kind of like playing it by ear.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounded fine to me, I guess. But yeah, I think that song is really cool. I mean, I don't know, like I feel like if someone else made it, I'd have a better opinion on it just because it's not me. But I think like for my own personal like experience, like doing a song like that, I'd say it was pretty good. I don't think it's the worst thing in the
Mm-hmm.
world.
Yeah, I mean I think considering it was
So,
your first
so yeah,
time
I'm pretty okay.
singing on a song like that, like I think it turned out really good, so even
Yeah,
though that
thank
is
you.
definitely the most
I
like
still get pissed.
Cameron Shull song on the whole thing.
It really, it really is. Yeah, I had a period of time to where I wanted to make music like that, um, but it still wouldn't have been that soft. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think. It would have been a lot darker and like it was kind of that one time when I was telling you about like that horror movie type
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Or that horror film score that I wanted to do. I wanted to add like some like something related to auto-tune vocals or whatever. But that's a whole different project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing about like collabing with you, and I think what's really important when it comes to collabing with other artists in general is like getting out of your comfort zone is extremely important if you want to improve as an artist. Like if you just want to do the same shit, it's like go ahead, do the same shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
especially if you click with someone who does something similar. But what I like about collabing with you is like I don't like normally do the kind of stuff you make sometimes, depending on what it is. And I think if it doesn't work out the first time, it can always be improved on, and you just kind of add that kind of skill the more you do it. And I think that's really sick.
Yeah, I will say I feel like
And that's
for
something I
me, I don't think I was pushing myself as hard, even though I don't think I've made like beats like any of those beats like ever. But I feel like I was in my comfort zone and I was like pushing you out of yours more so.
Yeah, because I was just kind of like, give me whatever. I'm just gonna do something with
Mm-hmm.
it, and that's how those 7 songs really came out. And yeah, it also helps too that I've been kind of focusing more on being, I guess, like a vocalist or just like like rapping in general, as opposed to producing. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
produced in like 2.5 months, um, and I keep coming up with like brand new things, and it's like I actually have to kind of take time and figure out like, well, what am I going to do on this, as opposed to me just like writing lyrics for it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really cool, and I think that's kind of something I did for this too, but not as much as other things that would be more experimental. But for this, I definitely had to be like, okay, like what the hell am I doing? And that happened more as time went by, just because of the beats you sent me that I just didn't know what to do with.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
But
also helps that
but
the
yeah,
project isn't very like ambitious, quote unquote. Like it's just a collection of like silly songs that kind of flow together.
Yeah, like I wasn't like I mean me personally, I wasn't trying to be like the most ambitious in the world. I just wanted to push songs out.
Yeah,
And that's something I'm still trying to do this year. So um but yeah, that's Rat Cage. The next one's Seeing Red, right?
which I know you were a very big fan of. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's at the moment, that's my favorite song on it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that song is like, I think it just captures an energy that no one else really can. Like, I don't know. I really mess with my vocals on it. I think the beat's freaking awesome, and I just think that what I did on it, like, it clashed really well. It's like organized chaos, and I like doing
Yeah,
that.
because it's like I don't know. I hear
I
beats.
know you were.
Like there's a lot of beats that have the like that drum pattern on it, but I feel like with the energy, it's not matched usually. It's usually like way more laid back vocals. So like to hear someone like yelling on it and really like give the beat the energy like should have like felt so good.
Yeah, totally. Like I also thought it was really unique in that way because it's like because of the drum pattern, I was like, I
Hmm.
don't ever hear stuff like this on that kind of drum pattern. And I was just like, I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. And it's different, like,
Hmm.
and if people mess with it, they mess with it. If they don't, they don't. Whatever. But I know you weren't really like the biggest fan of that song.
At first, but it's also she
Um,
showed me the original vocal demo. You were like, I forget how
yeah,
it
it
sounded,
was
but
like
you were like
garbage.
going even more over the top than you are in the final version.
Yeah. Yeah, like for that one, I knew it was like I kind of knew it was bad, but like I was just having so much fun doing it to where I
Hmm.
was just like, I don't even freaking care. Like I was just straight up like screaming at the top of my lungs, like some freaking like metal shit. It was so
Hmm.
funny. But yeah, no, definitely not something for a final product. Just like something to have fun
Yeah.
with and never release. But yeah, yeah, I also thought it was really interesting how you didn't really see like a goal for that song. Because I remember like when I was like re-recording stuff and you were say and I asked you, I was like what's your mindset towards like this kind of song? Like what are you trying to make like the audience feel or whatever? And you're like, oh, I don't even know. I thought that was really interesting. Did you like I guess when you first made the beat, what were you expecting on it? Were you expecting anything on it?
Genuinely, I don't know. With that, I think with that one specific, I just made the beat because I like the sample. But I
Mhm.
think the way that you like tackle that beat, that was definitely the best way you could have. I don't think there's another flow that really makes sense on that song.
Yeah, so like I was thinking that like I love the sample. The sample was like so good to me. Um and it's like this woman like already screaming too and I don't know, kind of screaming. Just kind of
Hmm.
like what's the word? Like being dramatic, I guess. And I
Yeah,
guess that's the
yeah.
best way to put it. I
It's
don't
funny because
really
in the
know. But
context of that album
um
too, it's kind of how the EP is too. Because that whole album is like the most beautiful folk songs you've ever heard, and then that one's just in there as like a jump scare. And that's kind of how Seeing Red is too, because Rat Cage
it's
makes you think
funny.
the project's gonna be all chill, and then immediately it hits you with that.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, that's definitely a weird song to have next. I thought it was really funny. Like I was
Hmm.
like, oh shit, like like what happened here? Like, because like if anyone else listens to my stuff and they're gonna hear me being like that, they're gonna be like what the hell is this? Like this is like the last thing you expected. And like the next song is like, oh okay, like that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's one of the songs I feel like is very like, 'cause I mean, even just talking to you, like and knowing each other's sounds, like it's really a perfect example of like how our sounds mesh in a
Hmm.
way. And that just goes for like a lot of songs here as a whole. Like, and I think it's just because that we've made music so much beforehand, that I really feel like, for just throwing some songs together for the most part, we really made something that's us in a way, in
Hmm.
my opinion. And I think that's really awesome, personally.
Yeah. No, that's definitely. I think that's probably the most like natural combination of our styles. I think.
Exactly. Yeah, like I think it's also due to us not really forcing too much when we were making this music.
Hmm.
I think that's another reason. Like, I don't know, I just thought it was like really sick. Like, especially like during like seeing like the album cover, I'm like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
like us combined, bro. Like, it's just so funny. Like, it
Hmm.
reminds me of like those memes online to where it's like us at a job and like it's like the job, like everything's like exploding and shit because like y'all are like working together. It's just like
Oh,
stuff
like
like that. I
regular
don't
show
know.
like
I don't know why
that.
it reminds. Yeah, like like similar stuff to
Mm,
like that, except it's like in a like a meme format. I don't know. I just think it's funny.
yeah,
I think the cover is incredibly awesome. Like I
yeah.
love that
No,
cover.
insane shout out to artist from Ryan. He did that in like 2 days too, which is like awesome.
No, absolutely. That was crazy. Like it's such a that's another example. It's like such a good mix of our styles in my opinion. Um I really love like I like your little logo guy that you have, the little
Hmm.
octopus plush thing. Um I think that like especially on like the chokehold cover is like so funny to me, but like not in a bad way, like in a cool way, because it's like I think I told you this before, but like on the chokehold single cover, it's like y'all are like taking care of us or something, like we're parents, because you're like looking over us and you're
Hmm.
like the biggest one
Well,
there.
actually,
It's like
what
I don't know, I just think it's like super
I
funny.
could transition to that song now because that's next on the track list. But for the cover for that song initially,
Yeah.
what I was picturing in my head, and this wasn't what the final one was, but it was like my squid guy would be in the ocean behind everyone, and then everyone would be on the beach. But
Mhm.
like I feel like that probably would have been too like crammed in terms of like the arrangement. So the guy wants something different.
Yeah, totally. I think that would have like it would have been kind of funny in a way, like because I feel like if that did happen, then it would have seemed like probably like the backside of the is it okay to call it an amu? Like I don't
And
know what else
amu,
to
yeah,
call
I
it.
don't really
Like
know what it is. I say squid and octopus, so I guess it's an amu.
I've always thought of it as like an amu, so I'm gonna just call it an
Okay.
amu. Like I just feel like it would show like the amu's back, and then like it would have to have like a huge shadow like
Hmm.
on the beach or whatever, and that would have been kind of funny.
That's like
But I
scary though.
I
It's
think
not.
it came out really. I think it would be kind of scary. It'd be kind of weird. I think it came out good the
Hmm.
way that it did. I think the artist did really good, and I really like I said I really love the cover for it. I love the truck idea. I want to say a fact. That's
Hmm.
that. I got the idea for the cover when it comes to like the truck things
Hmm.
for the PS2 game. I think it's like American Trucker, like four wheeler or something. I mean, I can look it up if you want. Unless like
Yeah,
I can send you a
I'll put
photo
it
of the
on because I know
cover.
I have it
But
saved somewhere. Yeah.
yeah, because I used to have that like when I was a kid, and my brother would play it, and I thought it was like the worst game in the world. It was like so boring,
Hmm.
and but like I just saw it the like
Wait,
that
I
summer.
thought you
I'm like,
never
this would
liked
be
the game to
sick.
begin with. I thought you liked the game.
No, I never
No.
played. It was just like it was in my older brother's PS2 collection, and I never played that game specifically. But my brother used to play it a little bit. I thought it was a really bad game. It was horrible. Um, but I thought the cover looked really cool.
Hmm. It does look cool.
Um, yeah, so I'm really glad. I just think it's so cool. We're just like in semi truck, just like guns, like shooting shit in the back on like a freeway. That's like so sick. I feel like the next if we do another thing, I feel like it would be really cool for like that like for the other perspective.
Oh, from
Like if we were
behind.
to do like another, yeah, I think that'd be kind
Ooh,
of
that would
cool.
be cool. I know me and you've talked
Yeah.
about. I don't know if it will happen, but if it does, what Caamuron Shull 2 would be is we would switch roles and Cameron would produce all of it, and then I would do all the vocals. I've been doing vocals more recently, and I'm kind of now it's scary for me because I've been trying to like yell and stuff more, but that'd be like pushing myself like way out my comfort zone the same way that you did for this. I'd be really curious to see like how that would turn
Yeah.
out if we do end up doing that.
Yeah, it would be very interesting. And I'm super down to try it one day. Um, And like I said, it's just like pushing each other out of our comfort zone. And like I feel like the more that we are to do it, like if we want to, like the better it'll just become, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I don't know, I'm super down to try it. I gotta see like how the year will pan out. I kind of have my whole year
You know,
planned.
I do too. So we'll have to see, but
Yeah, it's just like an idea, I
yeah.
guess. Yeah, but um
Um,
I guess chokehold now, right?
yeah. So for
Unless
Chokehold,
you have something else to say.
nah. For Chokehold, so Cameron is from California, the West Coast, and I was like, well, why don't I just try making a West Coast beat? So I think I spent the whole day listening to like Drakey the Ruler and stuff because like I knew how those beats sounded, but I didn't really like know how they worked. But the whole project has like says like samples of songs I like. So I went to take a shower, and then for some reason I had the fish was like stuck in my head. And I was like, what if I put the
Mhm.
drums on that? And then I just like got out of the shower and made the beat. Like that was another like pretty quick one, I
It
feel
was
like.
Yeah, that beat's awesome. I thought it was kind of weird at first. Like I didn't hate it at first, but I didn't like I liked it, but I just wasn't like connecting with it. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was kind of like because I was like, oh, this is like weird, but like not a bad way. I was like what the heck? Like this is just kind of weird. Like I've never, but the more I listened to it, I was like, yeah, no, like I love this thing. Like it's freaking awesome, and I really like my verses on it, and really everybody's verses. That song is like probably my favorite on it, or like if we're not counting Seeing Red, like
Mm-hmm.
if we're just counting like everything
Mm-hmm.
and not because I don't know, I don't really like think of Chokehold when I'm like, oh, what's my favorite song? Because I just kind of view it more as a single.
Yeah, yeah, that I
But
did too. Yeah.
that but that is definitely my favorite song on it, just because the energy is like insane on it.
Yeah, plus the story
Yeah, I love
behind
that
the
song.
song too is like, because initially, what happened was I was picturing one end on it, and no, I sent it to Hagen first, but then I also heard one end on it. I sent it to both of them, and then one end got his verse back to me within literally 15 minutes of me asking him. And when I got
That's
it back
crazy.
that fat, like the full finished verse was in 15 minutes.
Hmm.
And when I saw that he did it so fast, and I still wanted more people on the song, I was like, well, why don't I just get as many people as possible on it? So everyone I sent the song out to, like, they all got their verses back, like, relatively quickly. Cameron was actually the last person to do his verse for that song, funny enough. But so like we
Yeah,
couldn't hear like the
you
like we didn't have a chorus on it. It was just all verses for a good like 2 months or so.
really? Dang, it was that long?
I think so
Shit.
because I made the beat in I want to say August, and then because it was before I went to college, and then in November it came out. So I think so.
I think I wrote for it like during like in September, I
Mm-hmm.
think. I added the hook like the day I had to record. But I had like one verse, I think. And then I think I wrote a verse like the day after while I was walking home again.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I have two verses and then the hook.
Yeah,
What's your favorite verse on it, by the way?
it's the one verse. Like it kind of has to be
M- Me too.
like he was
My
made for
my my
that song.
favorite is one and two.
Yeah,
Dude, like the way he like flows on that, like it's just like there's so much swag to
yeah,
it. Like it's insane. Like the amount of swag is immeasurable.
yeah. But literally everybody did their thing on
Like
that song though. Like
yeah, totally. Like everybody has like a distinct like personality on it, and it all brings it together. And I wouldn't take a verse off.
yeah, no, I don't think there's not like a. I feel like on some cypher tracks that are super long, there's someone you can tell is kind of like below everyone else. Like Absol and like Really Dough, for example. Because I know
Yeah.
he like didn't know it was a cypher track with those people on it when he wrote his verse, so he didn't try as hard or something like that. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
but like nobody is like the
Um,
weak link in the song. Like, everybody's doing their own thing on it.
yeah, I agree. It's like very strong all throughout 6 minutes. It's kind of crazy that I really think it's cool that I sent you like a song of me just on it, like just like the two verses, you know what I mean? And the
Hmm.
hook. So I that even that could be a song itself. And I'd probably do that if I were to ever perform it. Just like do the two verses and the hook.
Yeah,
And it's because even then that's like I think like a 2.5 minute song itself.
yeah.
Uh I just thought that was really cool as
Also,
well.
I think it's cool how everyone in the song is from like across the U.S., even across the world for Burrito Boy. Like even though it's a West Coast song, it's like the entire U.S. is on it, like all the different corners.
Yeah, that's kind of what my hook is about, actually.
Hmm.
I can't really remember the lyrics entirely right now, but yeah, that was definitely like a bitch for you to mix.
Yeah, well, that's why that was also why I was a single because I knew that would be the hardest one to do first, just because everyone
Yeah,
has their own mic quality and stuff. But it was definitely worth putting it out because like that song needed to be out as soon as possible. I think.
yeah, definitely. And I appreciate you, like, and Elijah and everybody else, for doing all those things. It's really appreciated for sure. I can kind of tell it's also Elijah's mixing in a sense
Oh,
too.
really?
Um, yeah, I think that's kind of cool that I can kind of tell that because it has that same. I don't know how to explain it, but
Which
I can just tell it by ear. I'm like, this kind of
his
sounds
mixes
like
are a little like
Elijah B
squishy to
mixing.
me. I don't know if that's the vibe you ever get.
Yeah, it's kind of squishy. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
little bit like Yeah, squishy is a good
Mm,
way to explain that. Yeah. And then we have what dark around here. We
y-
have that one.
yeah, that was another beat that
Story
I
of dark around
made.
here.
Yeah, Dark Right Here was the other beat that I had made on that one day. So Ratcade, C Red, and Dark Right Here were all made within like within a 1 day span.
Yeah, I really love that beat, honestly. I think that beat's crazy. Like, I don't know. I think that beat's just super like smart. Like, I don't even know like if you thought anything, but I just think it's really smart the way you did it.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Um,
think it flows
Pretty
together
unique in
really
a way.
well. Yeah.
And I think our verses on top of it are really like, or mine and Mercy's, like they flow really well together and
Yeah.
energy wise. And I think that's like so, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite song on the project,
Mhm,
especially because for that song I was really inspired by like div drill for like the drums.
mhm.
Cause for me, like I know everyone talks about like Punk Goes Drill and like Evil Johnny's like production in general, but for me like Nick and Carter's production is always what I think of for drill production because I feel like they've focused a lot more on like percussion and like bounce, or not more bounce. That's Evil
Yeah,
Johnny's thing, but like they make sure that the drums are super active and like if you listen, there's stuff happening and it's pan everywhere, but it's this like really chill sample, so it just kind of like rides the beat.
yeah, totally. And I that mine and Mercy's verses really complement that in a
Hmm.
way. And I think it's just really sick. Um, yeah, that song was probably the easiest for me. I don't really know why. Like when I was like recording it and stuff. Like, I mean, I had to change like the lyrics a little bit just because like the flow was a bit too fast for
Oh, the
me. And
original
like you
one, yeah.
mentioned that. Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure it's like sounds better. Um yeah, I didn't really think too much for that one. I don't really know why. Like it just kind of came the way
Hmm.
it did. And then Mercy like gave his verse and he kind of has the bulk of the song. Um I think we both did really good on it. The only thing that I would change is and just me in general is if I would just like pronounce myself a bit better, like
Hmm.
pronunciation. But besides that, like I think it's a pretty good song.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, then, do you want to talk about what happened recently?
Yeah. So like I've been trying to I want to post every day in 2025. And I posted that song on TikTok and like it was kind of crazy, like the amount of like negative comments that song got. It was just so interesting to me. Like they were like coming like every 10 minutes. There's like 12 comments that are just like saying it's like the worst song in the
Yeah,
world. And
no,
it
they're like
has like
telling you to quit,
500
and
views on
like
it.
it's just like I don't understand
It
it
was
because
weird,
there's
dude.
nothing about the song like obviously you're allowed to not like the song, but there's nothing that's like openly like offensive to me about it, or I would hear it and be like, oh, like I don't understand.
Like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, that makes no sense to me. I wasn't thinking about that for a couple of days. I'm like, what is it? Like, I don't like the
Because
only
like
thing
I
I can
like
really
if
think
seeing
about
Red
is
got the
just
response, like I would understand, not because I agree, but because yeah, that would be
yeah,
weird to hear. But that song is so normal. Like I don't
yeah.
understand why it got that like response.
Yeah, that's what I was a little confused about. Like, I mean, I also think in general, TikTok is like a horrible place to advertise music, even if that's the only place. Just because I don't think I've ever seen like a post on TikTok for music that says your music is good
Hmm.
for the most part. Like, especially if it's advertised music. It's really hard to post on TikTok for me, like when it comes to finding an audience, just not even just for like Dark Around Here, but just like in general.
Yeah. Is it
Um,
like disheartening for
I'm trying to
you, or do
find
you
that
not
niche.
care when you get their response?
When I got all those responses, I don't, I was like, what am I missing? Like, what do I not know? Because I don't want to be those people that are like, that like make music and they like don't know it's like objectively like horrible.
Hmm.
And then like, especially with a song like Dark Around Here, right? Because it's like, to me, that's like a fairly normal song, even if it has like distinct personalities on the song.
Hmm.
Um, so when it got that, I was like I was a little confused because I was like, should I change like the hashtags or it's like, because I mean, for me, when I make music, I want to make, I don't make music for people, but I have an audience in mind.
Hmm.
If the audience doesn't like that song, that's the issue. Like if the intended audience thinks it's bad, that's when I have the problem. I don't know if they were the intended audience or not. So I don't really care for the most part. I definitely don't want to open TikTok and see like people like shitting on it because that's like the only thing I've ever gotten when promoting this EP so far. So I definitely go on TikTok less because of it because I just
Mm-hmm.
don't want to like I don't want that to be the first thing I see when I open
Yeah.
TikTok. But besides that, not really. I'm just kind of like the only way I would really care about it is if like they actually give me constructive criticism. But like
Mm-hmm.
besides that, it's just like I don't freaking care. Like I don't expect anybody to like the kind of music I make anyway. So
Yeah, which I think is like really special because like nobody sounds like what you do pretty much. Because it's all your own like
yeah.
distinct influences. Like you're inspired by like Slipknot and stuff for your rapping. Like who does that?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think a lot of people do that actually, but
I feel like it's the way that you
I
approach it
try
though
to
is different.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I try to just do it in my own way, really. How about you? Like what did you think about like the hate online about like I guess Dark Brown here
Okay,
specifically.
I'll be honest. For me, it didn't affect me at all, and maybe because there's that degree of separation where even though it is my song, because I'm the producer and no one's saying, "Oh, the beat sucks." Like I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
man,"
yeah.
even though I was still very
Yeah.
confused by the response, but I wasn't like upset by it.
Yeah, I mean, because the entire time I was like, it's not the beat. The beat's good. Like there's nothing wrong with the beat, and I know that. It's like because it's obviously something with me then because I mean I get it. Like I overall like I get it, but like I would say that if people were to criticize it, it would just be like my voice
Hmm.
and my pronunciation. But besides that, I just think it was probably just because it's something I've never really done before. Um, but I mean, if people like, if this was exposed to every single person in the world, and like there's like not like a decent audience for it because of that, that's the one I'm like, okay, like yeah, I gotta go back, I gotta figure this
Oh,
out,
wait,
I
like if
gotta,
there was a speaker
I
that blasted that through like the entire earth.
yeah, like if there was like a speaker on the moon, right,
Hmm.
and like everyone in the world heard that song and knows the name of it. And if there's no decent audience for it that like that song at all, then that's when it's like, okay, like I gotta figure out what I did wrong and why people don't mess with it. But
Hmm.
even then, it's like I don't really care. Like it really depends. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like because it's like myself. I think it's really important, like for art in general, to be yourself. I think that's I would rather listen to a song that's like who you are and everyone thinks it's garbage as
Hmm.
opposed to like someone trying to be someone they're not. And I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. So I was just being myself on it. I mean, I'd rather listen to that song than like Lil Mabu. Like,
Well,
so
I think most people will listen to most songs compared to Lil Mabu. Although I will say, his first album, I am unfortunately a little nostalgic for because my brother used to force me to listen to it on the way to school in the morning. So I know like all the words to it, but yeah,
that's like S tier guilty pleasure, bro.
like I would never on my own time know if my brother's in the car, I'll listen to Lil Mabu.
That's crazy. That's funny though. Yeah, I haven't listened to his music. I've only listened to that like I've been every time I've had to listen to him, I've been forced to.
Yeah, you're not
And
missing
it
much.
would be that one cover of like if you have a bad day,
Oh
take it one
yeah.
down or whatever. Like I don't know. I don't
Oh, you know what I
hate
found
that
out though?
song, but I don't
Hmm. Apparently, I'm
I
the
just don't think
person
it's
that
very good.
added his music to rate your music. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Like,
That's wild. You're like the OG Lil Mabu fan.
I don't want you to have to stay in the like it shows my name at the bottom of the page. Like if you scroll down on it.
Like we let's like put it out there to the that you are like the world's biggest Lil Mabu fan.
I'm denouncing him right
Like
now. Mm-mm.
we're
Mm-mm.
this is not a video about the EP. This is about you coming out as a Lil Mabu fan.
Yeah, it's I've been keeping it inside for like 3 years now.
So what yeah, so yes, continue what you have to say, yes.
Um, I don't want to talk about Lil Mabu anymore, man. I think we said what needs to be said about Lil Mabu. But if you want to talk about the next song on the
Right.
EP, which is Heads Hang Heavy, that was the last
Mhm.
song that was made for the project, and it was legit. It was made because I was walking, like the EP was only gonna have 6 songs on it, But I had this idea where I really wanted to make like a Griselda beat, except it had like a crazy like shoegaze sample for some reason. And I heard that Quantic song and it fit the idea that I had for it. And I had like a hour before class, so I just made the loop. It was like 50 seconds. I set to the Cameron, and that's really it. Like the only major change was that I like stem separated the drums on it so that the drums hit harder because initially there were like no drum presence on that song. But that song I feel is definitely the most divisive song probably because it's jump scared like everyone that I've shown it to.
I didn't know that you wanted to make a Griselda thing. Like your mind was going into that territory. That's really sick. I like the song. I mean, I think you'll expect me to like the song. That's like the most me song out of
Yeah,
all of this. And it makes sense how people are like, I guess,
because
like you said, like just half and half
like they don't dislike
about
it,
it.
but they're like, oh, like because you don't expect it when it comes on. That's kind of the point.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's really interesting how like, I mean, I know I sound like MC Right on it, but I don't think I sound exactly like MC Right. Like the first line, like yeah, I sound
Hmm.
like MC Right.
Yeah.
Like the next, everything else, I don't think I sound like MC Right at all. I definitely get how you could say I'm influenced, but like I guess you showed me that someone said like this sounds like a Death Grips cover. I'm like, I mean, I
Yeah, it
guess
was
yeah,
like
like
it's
I
not
could
something
kind
I
of see it.
saw until I didn't see it until I saw that. Then I hear it a little bit, but like I didn't hear it when you initially sent me like your take for it.
Yeah, I mean. I don't know. I think that's kind of, I would say that's a compliment in a sense,
Hmm.
as long as that's not like, my main sound is just a Death Grips cover.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I really like that song. I really like that you sent me that song because I've been wanting 7 songs this entire time.
hmm.
So I was like, oh, cool, like 7 songs, sick. And it's like 7 actual songs too, as opposed to like when I like my other solo EPs or whatever.
Hmm.
There's just like either like an instrumental I threw in on there or like a 7 second like noise
Yeah.
clip or whatever. But so yeah, I think that's really cool that we actually had a 7 song.
Yeah, that song
Yeah,
was supposed to have a feature on it initially, but I think it was probably I think it would have turned into drag a bit if it had the feature, even though it would have been awesome.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a really cool introduction to Demar Derozan. I really that song is. I was telling you like it's like my version of that one Mad Villain song.
Hmm.
I don't even remember the name, but it's like that 49 second like
Was it
instrumental
Raid that one?
that I think it's Operation Lifesaver, I think, with like the piano with the I think I had like piano on it. I sent
Hmm.
you the link to it. I mean, I don't know. We can figure it out
Yeah.
later, I guess. I can send you the link to it.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, that song is really like there's not really much to talk about with that song because it's just kind of something we threw together.
Yeah, the only thing I want to talk about is like I'm real proud of the vocal processing on that song.
Hmm.
I've
Yeah, yeah, totally. Sorry, I mean,
yeah, no, you're
I
good.
cut you off.
The one thing I've started doing the last couple of months is putting guitar amps on vocals because I think it sounds sick. And like I do it to give like the vocals more like texture and like grit. So Cameron's vocals have a guitar amp on it for all of it. And then when he's doing the screams, I put this crazy like delay and reverb on it in the background so it like rings out a little bit afterwards. I don't know. I just think it made the song feel very like powerful. So
Yeah, I thought the song sounded like really sick at the end when like all the reverb just kind of washed out. I thought
hmm.
that was pretty sick. Yeah, I thought it was really, really cool, like that you mixed that because it's kind of as if you mixed the song from the closing shift.
Hmm. Oh
And
yeah,
I thought
there's like
it was just
distortion on the
really
master and
interesting.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I just thought it was really cool. It's like your own version of that. I don't know.
Hmm.
I love that song. I think that song is freaking awesome. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about that song.
Yeah. And speaking of freaking awesome, DeMar DeRozan, the guy
DeMar
and the song.
DeRozan. Yeah. The guy, yeah, that guy, that's a cool guy.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say about that. We started off at the beginning saying like it was for an original beat, um, or a different beat. And then, you sent me the beat and then I added an extra verse onto it to fill the song.
Hmm.
I would think it would be one of my favorites, but just because like the process of working on that song was just so like disgusting to me. I just
Yeah.
don't feel anything towards it. If anything, I don't like that song. Like personally.
No,
How
I
about you?
I felt that way. But I think it's grown on me a little bit more. I think it's helped that I've had multiple people to like tell me that was like easily their favorite song. So I think it shows
Oh,
that like
sick.
the idea we had for it like did pay off, even if we were a little sick of it like ourselves.
I don't know. Like I think the more I listen to it, the more I wish I re-recorded one more time. I think I sound kind of awkward on it.
Hmm.
Um, and I just wish I re-recorded it. To sound more smooth, but who knows? Who knows if that would have even worked? But I mean, but it also could just be a me thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad people like it. I think it's a good song. I just wish I re-recorded
Yeah.
my parts.
Do you have a favorite part? Because mine is definitely the last little like bridge section that you did, where you're like yelling on it.
Yeah, I used to like that bridge section a lot, but I don't really mess with that anymore, if I'm being
Really?
honest. I don't know. It's like a little, yeah, it's a little bit like I wouldn't change it. Like I wouldn't change a single thing about that song,
Hmm.
when it comes to the structure. And I don't think I would have re-recorded it either. But I don't know. I'm just not really feeling that part right now. It'd probably change.
Hmm.
But I think it's necessary, and I think like it should be liked for sure. Um, But yeah, I think overall that's a really good song. I honestly I really like the structure of that song personally. It seems very like organized, but in a unique way.
Yeah. No, and I also like how there's a 3 6 Mafia sample on that song, but I feel like it sounds kind
Yeah.
of like you on it. I've had multiple people think it's like you doing that like hook thing.
Yeah, I listened to the EP yesterday just like for this reason,
Hmm.
and I could totally see it. I just think that for me at least, I think the vocals just like are probably pitched a bit up,
Hmm.
perhaps if it did sound like me. But I mean, for the longest time, I did not see it at all.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see it a little bit. Yeah. Um, Yeah, that beat was insane when you first sent it to me. I was like, holy shit. I was like so excited to be on that song
Hmm.
when you first sent that to me. And I liked that beat a lot more than the original too. So,
Yeah, the only thing I was sad about is when I went into that song, I wanted to make a tread beat, and the one guy I know that loves tread told me it was the most tread adjacent song ever. So I failed.
I mean, I still think it's a good song. I don't really focus on genres like that. I should start doing it though. It would give me more ideas for producing, but
Yeah, like I
um
don't think the song is any worse because it's not like fully tread or whatever. Because like the idea I had was why I made the song that way. So, but yeah.
mhm. I think it sounds pretty cool, personally. Like I said, I just wish I re-recorded it so it could sound a bit smoother because I think I sound kind of awkward on
Hmm.
it. But that's really it. That was the first beat that you made for everything, I
Yeah.
think, the whole EP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
so that's really
I feel
cool.
like that song kind of shows my thought process for beat making. Because there's like 4 different kinds of drum beats on that song. Because there's
Hmm.
the standard tread one, and then there's the like the hyphy, like the West Coast section on it, and then
Yeah,
there's like this part where you're doing. It's when you do the second chorus, then it goes into your verse, and it switches to like drill, but keeps the 808, and then it has like the jerk
yeah,
drums at the end. Because like for me, I can't make a beat where it sounds the same like rhythmically, like the whole song. I can't do that. So I feel like that's why on
yeah.
the
I
EP, all
get
the
it.
beats also have very like they're all different genres because of that.
Yeah, I used to be the same way. I still kind of am the same way, but because I try to make stuff fast now, I'm
Hmm.
like okay with just looping things. Uh, but yeah, I think that's a really cool thing about you as a producer that you do. It's just always interesting, and I think that's really sick.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think for the purpose or yeah, for the purpose of Demar Derozan, it definitely adds to the arrangement of the song.
Hmm.
And I think my performances kind of make it smooth, I guess, when it could be chaotic
Yeah,
and like in a bad way.
I think
Yeah.
my favorite thing about that song, or not my favorite, one thing I think is cool, is it's like kind of an after product of the original verse being for a different beat. Because originally it was a drill beat that you're doing that chorus on, but when you're doing it on the tread 808, it sounds like it sounds super like driving, like you're constantly like going forward with the chorus.
Yeah.
And it's like I
Yeah,
don't think
no,
people would
totally.
have like written that chorus that way if they had just heard the beat itself.
Yeah, no, I see it. Um I see that. And I really like that idea, honestly. Because I just remembered I was going to like rap on like all those beats, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then
From
we're
that
gonna
Google
make new,
Drive
and then
link.
we're gonna make
Yeah.
new beats
And we
for
were just
it.
gonna make new ones and just
Yeah.
like throw it on top of it. Yeah. I still want to do that one day. That idea sounds very
Hmm.
interesting. Um, but yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about DeMar DeRozan. For me personally. Um, how about you?
I think that about wraps up my thoughts for that one too. And then the
Yeah.
last
And-
song that we made for it, well, not the last one we made for it, but "Are You There Tonight?" The
Yeah.
beat for that I made because on my first day of college, I thought my class started at like 12:30. I forgot, but I thought it started at a certain time, and I got there, and then I saw that they had changed the time to be later in the day, so I had like 2 hours to kill suddenly, and I just made the beat for that song while I was waiting for class to start.
Yeah, I think it's a really good beat. Um, it took me some time to like it the way that I did now because I never thought it was a bad beat. I just like I said, like I just didn't really like see the vision for it entirely.
Hmm.
Um, but as time went by, I was like, oh yeah, like I totally get it now. And that's also one of those the most like not me songs
Yeah,
out there. I'd argue that's more not me than Rat Cage if I'm being honest.
yeah. I mean, like that chorus is
Um,
like I don't know how you feel with the chorus, but
I'm not really a fan of that chorus. I feel like if we didn't release it, if we had like a couple more months to release it, I would
hmm,
have changed the chorus. I probably would have like done that song a lot differently if I'm being honest. I don't, it's just not a song I would listen to personally. Like it's
yeah,
not like I guess it's not bad, but it's just like not good. I think the beat's very beautiful though. I really like the way like you constructed like it's a sample, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Dude,
Yeah, I like
I
the way
wish
you
I could
like
make that. If
I
there was no
really like the
sample in
way
that,
I know, me too. That would be crazy. Um, I like the way you constructed the beat for sure. I just did not have an idea for that song, but I think I did the best that I could,
hmm,
really. Uh, I would have tried to change the chorus though, but
yeah, I think I feel that way too.
we
But
learn.
I think the chorus kind of adds to the silly like vibe of the project. So like
Yeah, you
I
have a
feel like for
point
what it
there.
is,
Yeah.
it works. But I agree. I feel like it probably could have been worked on a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that one. And I don't know, there's something about it that's a little charming though.
Hmm.
Like that whole song. It's like a bit charming to me. Um, that song is also kind of a bit personal to me in a way, if like anyone could hear my lyrics on it. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like I kind of told a story about how like life could be as like time goes by, like with me and like my partner. If
Hmm.
like we want to connect and stuff, but like we can't because we have all these individual things like that we have to do in order to support us.
Hmm.
And it's just like talking about that. So yeah, I mean I like the song for the lyrics, but and I really like the beat, but I would definitely change the hook and probably re-record my vocals. But
Hmm.
besides that, like I think the song's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I told you this. Like the chorus sounds like kind of like A hype inspired in a way.
Yeah, that's funny. Um, I kind of see it. Yeah, I think A-Hype A-Hype's music's really like crazy. That's one of those things I was telling you about him. Like, and that's so sick, and I love that.
Hmm.
And he's so not afraid to be himself, and I think
Yeah.
that's like the coolest thing about him. And I definitely support his music for that reason.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to listen to more of it because
Um,
he puts out so much, and I never have time to listen to all of it, unfortunately.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I tried to get him into like I gave him my FL Studio because I wanted to help him like mix and master his vocals.
Hmm.
And I was like on a call with him like in 2023 and he like tried for like a day and he was like, no, like I
No.
can't do it. And I'm like, well, all right, man. Like I'm like I want to help you. Like I would really like love to like help him with that,
Hmm.
but I guess not.
Oh wait, do you think you'd
But
ever want to do a full project with A hype?
at the moment, I mean, like obviously hypothetically, of course, but like for this year, I wasn't really planning on it.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to like last year,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, if the day comes, like why not? Like I'd mess with it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I really liked his single, or I listened to a little bit of that one song released with like Alaska something. I think that song was really freaking good
I
from what
didn't
I
hear
heard.
it.
I don't
Yes.
know. You probably didn't hear it. I listened to like a few seconds of it because he like posted it on TikTok, and I
Mhm.
think that sounded really freaking cool. But yeah. Anyway, a
Yeah.
hype on a
So
Caamuron Shull too
maybe.
confirms.
Yeah. So that's. I guess now that we've talked about everything, like, how do you feel now that it's out and it's like a done thing?
How do I feel now? I think like I'm just like so locked in for this year that I'm just like, okay, what's next for
Yeah.
me?
No, I'm the same way. Yeah.
Like I literally have like an entire project coming out in like a 2 week, 2.5 weeks with Hank Rube. So um I'm kind of just focused on what's next. I think it's a great introduction to start the year for sure.
Hmm.
Um yeah, like I'm just so locked in on this year that like I wasn't really focused on like I guess like chilling for a bit. I
Hmm.
was excited for sure, but like I said, I'm just like what's next. And you're the same way?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so
because I know you want to drop 6 projects this year, and
I
I
do. I
want to
want to.
drop
Yeah.
5 EPs this year. So yours is one of them that's already out now. And I've talked
Yeah.
to the 4 other artists. Like I know what I'm doing for them. And then
Oh, sick.
there might be. It's in the works now, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll be out this year because there's not really a date. Oh yeah, plus there's Drogaze too. I have so many things. Oh my god, because Drogaze like needs to come out this year because like I'm not putting it off for another year. And then there might be like a Links
Yeah.
Club project now because we've been doing stuff for that. But
Yeah.
like we just started, so I really have no idea when that'll be done. But there will definitely be stuff for it coming out
Yeah,
this
it's a
year.
lot.
But as for the whole project, I have no idea.
What do you mean by like the whole project, like for Links Club or whatever?
Yeah, I
Mm.
I'm not gonna talk about it at least on here because I don't want to spoil it. I can
Okay.
talk to you about it, but that's like a very special thing that has been needing to happen for a long time. So the fact that it finally is like really cool. I think, but I feel like a lot of people won't even have like context for why it's so cool. I don't know, like a lot of the stuff we made during the Links Club era was never heard by people outside of Links Club. So it's like it's very like personal music for us, but most people won't connect with it the same way just because they weren't like there for it.
Yeah, totally. I listened to the long time ago. I listened to like the three singles you guys had out,
Hmm.
and it was like so like at the time it was like the most like creative shit I've like ever heard. I thought it was really cool. Yeah, it was so sick.
Yeah, and like there was we're trying to
But
tap more into that like energy for what we're working on right now. So
mhm. Yeah, that's freaking sick. Yeah, I wish the best for that. Totally. Um, yeah, for me, it's just the six project stuff. It might be with Hank, it might just be me. I do have a like a jazz rap album that'll come out this year.
hmm.
That's halfway done. Um, and then yeah, so I'm definitely having at least three by the end of April.
That's
Um,
crazy. Yeah.
so yeah,
Well, I will be there for
maybe
that.
four,
4, 1 a month, 2.
maybe four. Yeah. Yeah, because like maybe four by the end of April, just because me and Hank are already trying to make volume two of Tier Bucket or whatever. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's called Tier Bucket Volume One. It's releasing January 25th, I believe,
Yeah.
on 25th or 26th. Um, yeah, so we're already trying to make volume two. Um, I'm just trying to get started on the beats because I'm gonna make all the beats for it. Because for the
Hmm.
volume one, he made all the beats. So I'm trying to make all the beats for volume two. I just haven't had the time because I'm doing like all this film shit too. So yeah, hopefully volume two comes out in March, hopefully.
Hmm.
We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. I just need to make the time to just lock in on producing. But besides that, I should
Yeah.
have four by the end of April. I'm not forcing myself, but four. I'm trying, probably.
Forcing yourself. Ooh, ooh.
No, like I'm not gonna force myself to have four albums by the
You're
end of
not
April.
forcing yourself.
I'm not forcing myself. That was
Hmm.
intentional. Um, yeah, I'm not forcing myself, but
Hmm.
if it comes, it comes. But yeah, that's what I have going. Do you have any like did you learn anything new that you're going to apply to your music now after this whole thing?
Ooh.
This whole EP?
That's good. That's a good question. I definitely think like maybe thinking about the vibe of what I want to do more, because for this project it was literally just makes anything, and if you like it, that's good enough. And I like how it turned out for that, but I think in general I like my project to have some sort of like theme or like overall vibe, and I think we did kind of capture that with this one, but it's like a weird, more like abstract one, which I think works for what we did. But I think in general I want to be more like intentional about what I'm making. I know you are too with that.
Hmm. Yeah, just like I have an idea for like a sound for like each album or project or tape or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like there is no sound for this one. It was just make music, and that's not a bad thing whatsoever. But I think in the future I'd probably want to tap into a more specific thing.
How about like workflow? Is there anything that like changed for you workflow wise when making music? Ever since like releasing this, like that either will make it easier for you to make music, that'll make it harder for you, all those sort of things.
I think the main thing is also been using less samples. Funny enough, because I use samples
Hmm.
for the entirety of the EP. The only like non-sample part is the synth that I played on Rat Cage, but there are
Yeah.
no like original melodies or anything on it besides that. And I think I love making beats like
Hell yeah.
that, but I feel like where I shine the most is when I'm doing my own melodies and stuff. So I've been doing that more recently. And like you've heard
Hmm.
the thing I say, like that's probably my favorite thing I've ever made. And it's like no
Hmm.
samples. It's like all me doing stuff for it. So I think that kind of shows something to me.
Yeah, it sounds really sick. It's definitely very cinematic, very
Hmm.
ambitious for sure.
Yeah, and that's for that project I was
Um,
telling you about.
yeah, totally. Um, yeah, we both have a busy year, man. We both do.
Yeah, so I think this video is a nice way to cap off the start of the year, and
Totally.
we'll see where we go from here. I think we talked about everything we could have talked
Absolutely.
about for this. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of have everything. Oh, question. What is what's your favorite performance by me and your least favorite and why?
Oh, okay.
Because yeah.
If you're talking favorite performance, definitely
And
heads
can I
hang.
guess? Can
Oh,
I
okay.
Oh, is it heads hang heavy? It's heads hang heavy. Okay. Um, least favorite, I would say Are You There Tonight? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you mind telling? Okay. I would ask why, but for Are You There Tonight? But I already I think I already know.
Honestly,
Um,
I think the only if you did the silly auto tune vocals on it, I don't know if that would have sounded good, but I'm so curious what that would have sounded like if that was the chorus on it.
yeah, I had that in my mind, but I don't know. I wasn't because I was kind of imagining it for the song to be like kind of glitchy in my vocals if
Hmm.
it were to be like auto-tuned or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I imagined auto-tune on that song like the whole way, but I don't know. I just didn't really think of anything. Because I want to tap in more with auto-tune for my next stuff.
Hmm.
But for that one, I couldn't really think of anything. That's really what it was. But yeah,
Yeah. I guess for
that's
me
really all
then,
I
do you
have to say
have like a
about that.
favorite and least favorite beat that I did for it and like why?
Like standalone, just beat,
Yeah,
like not even
just the beat
thinking about
itself, like
like
how it's produced.
okay. uh, Okay.
Or maybe like anything I did like mixing wise you disagree
Uh
with too.
I'll start with the mixing one. Um My second verse on Chokehold sounds very muffled. Sounds muffled still, in my opinion. It
Hmm.
sounds still a bit muffled. I probably should have told you that before we released
Oh yeah, I
it.
never. Oops, my bad. Yeah.
No, that's my no. Like, I mean, that's no. I mean, I think you guys put a lot of effort into it, and I really like appreciate that. I'm just saying, like, my own personal like opinion.
Hmm.
I'm not saying like change it, but in my opinion, I think that part's a bit muffled. My second verse, but I would say for the favorite beat, that's a really tough one because like those beats all go really hard. Um, I mean, I would say that like if I didn't have the bias, it would probably be Demar Derozan.
Hmm.
But because I don't, but because I have that bias, it's definitely probably Dark Around Here or Chokehold.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dark Around Here is just very, I just really like the energy of that beat. Like, I feel like that beat alone, like, it doesn't even need vocals on it, in my opinion.
Well, there's vocals in the
But
samples. That kind of makes sense. But yeah.
yeah, that too. Yeah, and even for Are You There Tonight, like, I was like thinking, like, there was already vocals on it. And I was like, how am I going to like put vocals on something that already has what seems like a song itself already? Like, it to me, like, that could have been just dropped as like a song itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say definitely those two songs that I said.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Chokehold was hard to mix. And plus, your mic was also having a. I know we talked about it a lot, but there's something with your interface, right? Where it, like messes up
I don't
the.
even know what it is. I don't even know. I just think that I know you struggle with mixing my vocals, but and it's a little frustrating if it is my mic issue, just because it's like this mic
Oh
and like
yeah.
I paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
So if it is like my mic issues, like I'd be pretty upset.
Maybe it's me too
Um
though, because I know you're set like you're focused on finding your own production, so like with your preset and stuff. So
yeah, maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, I also really like the fact that you wanted to mix and master the whole thing. I thought that was really like uh I guess respectable in a sense because it's like you wanted to that's another example of you wanting to step outside of your comfort zone. I think that's really sick.
like, yeah, I need more practice working with like
Um,
artists. Like I wanted to lock in with a specific artist to like get more practice with that. Cause like
yeah.
prior to that, I'd mixed a Hype's EP, but I don't really know what I was doing at all, so I don't count that. And then there was the Drill Gaze EP, but that's working with different artists who all have their own mic setups or whatever. So that didn't really give me
Yeah.
like practice because it was with like different stuff every time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no. At the end of the day, like I could be having mic issues, but I really think it just depends on how you think it sounds if you were to mix it. Even if
Hmm.
like I do have mic issues and I could I don't know, I can also figure it out on my end one day. I don't know how I would, but because I know like it sounds pretty muffled sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of on your end, I think now would be a good time to close out the video, I guess. This was like kind of like therapeutic in a way. We got to just let like everything out.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like I'm glad we did this, you know. Yeah, thanks for thinking about it. Totally.
Yeah.
I keep saying totally for some reason.
But I think this would be a cool
But
thing to do with other artists because it does kind of let you just like I don't know why, but it feels like a debrief after your project is out, where you just like
yeah, it's like
let all your thoughts out about it.
this is it's like it's like a therapy session. It's like this is it like sucked making all these songs and then like you just post it and then people listen
So yeah,
to
so
the
I
video.
so yeah, I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, so if you have not, I don't know if you watched the whole video and you haven't heard the EP for some reason. I don't think anyone would watch so they haven't. But if you are watching the video and you haven't heard the EP for some reason, go check it out. It is literally the video that's uploaded directly before this one. It's so you can if you don't want to go on Spotify or whatever, it's literally here on the channel. It's also on Cameron's channel. So
My Bandcamp too.
and Bandcamp and my SoundCloud,
Yep.
it's all over the place.
It's like everywhere. It's like on like the next street, bro. Like everywhere.
Yeah. So go listen to it. Maybe put how you feel about it in the comments. Maybe I never say comment anything, but if you have your thoughts on the project, we'd be curious to hear what you think about it.
Tell me how bad it is. Tell me how much it sucks. Tell me how it's the worst thing you ever heard. I need it.
Yeah. So any comments,
I
critiques,
don't.
criticism, compliments, whatever, put them over there. And other than that, make sure you go follow Cameron on everything. I will have all his links in the description. Cause like he's dropping 5 more projects this year. Like, how do you not want to be tapped in with that? Come on.
Yeah, like how do you not like how can you avoid me at this point? I'm posting like every day. Like I am in your face, like annoying you. Like you are forced to listen regardless. Like
Yeah,
at gunpoint. I do not care. Same goes to you. I'll like I'll like do the same thing for you somehow, like virtually, like
Just text me good
if that
morning
makes
every
any
day.
sense. Like, no, I'm talking about like your music, like so people can like
Oh, oh, oh.
hear your music. Yeah. Not like texting you in the morning, like what's up, bro?
Oh,
Like, no.
that's what you felt might be in my face just every morning. Because I had someone that would text me, like, no, over COVID, someone would text me, like, oh, how was your day? Like, every night at 6 p.m. It's like, it was fine. Like, it's not much to talk about. It was during COVID, too. So I was like home all day. Like, there's nothing to talk about.
That's funny. But yeah, make sure to check out AAMU'S music too. Um, very great dude, very talented person.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, of course. I assume you have your own social media as well,
Yeah,
like
they
in
will
the
be in
description.
there. If they're not in there, I messed up really bad, but they should be there, hopefully.
Well, at the very least, just subscribe to Hidden Driveway because you put a lot of
True,
effort into this.
true.
You put a lot of effort into music, and you deserve an audience for that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was weird because I don't know why, because I took like a week off from doing anything for the first time like the whole year, and I don't know why, but they gave me like an outside perspective on like the like on like what I've been doing, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool actually, because there's just that like big library of like stuff that I did. I was like, oh, because I can just go look back on it now.
Oh, I thought you meant like this is kind of cool, like doing nothing. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool.
No, yeah, like I don't know,
Um,
just the fact that there's this like huge library of artists that I really like, and the fact that there's stuff out there to like support them now that people can go see is cool to me.
no, yeah, definitely, it definitely is really cool. To have a like a portfolio like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, most of my portfolio is kind of deleted, I think. Like lost, I'm
Yeah,
saying,
well,
like for the
intentionally
most part.
lost though, so maybe it's better that way.
No, I'm not even talking about that, like that
Oh,
2020 mixtape. I'm talking about like in general. Like it's all on like old laptops. I don't like back up my
oh,
files. Like I've like deleted files before. Like it's just like they're gone. Like
hmm,
I don't know, which I don't really care about because I'd never go back to it anyway. But
hmm.
I'm not talking about the forbidden tape of 2020.
Okay. Uh, but yeah. So I'm Amu. This was Cameron Shull.
I am Cameron
Goodbye.
Shull.
I guess.
Goodbye. I guess, yeah.